Angularjs. So in this session we are going to see the table. So how to make use of the table in Angularjs application. So the meaning for this table is, so table, it is used to align the data, right? It is used to align the data in table format. So it does have elements like tr, th, td. So tr, it represents a row, and td, it represents a cell, all right, and th, it represents the heading, all right. Altogether all the elements falls under table element. So that's it. So here we're gonna see how to make use of the tables in AngularJS application. So I create an application, AngularJS application, new, click on new, and dynamic web project, N.Thiruchitrampalam. Okay, click on finish. You here right click on web app folder, go to new, and then click on folder to create a lib folder, lib. Give the name of the folder, lib lib. The folder is created. So here I have copied the AngularJS files already, so I'm gonna paste it on the lib folder. Okay, so just right click on it and select it, and then Control V to paste the AngularJS files. The AngularJS files are pasted into the lib folder. And then right click on web app, create an HTML file, go to new, and then HTML file, and name it as index.html file. And then right click on web app and go to new and click on file to create the AngularJS file, and name it as angdemo.js. Okay, and in this Angular demo.js create the model. It's been explained in the previous session how to create the model and controller. So I just do this where it's a variable, and then I give a name app equal, the keyword is angular.model, and name the model, give the name of the model, ng app. Okay, right click, comma, double quote, bracket, give the bracket, and then now we created the model and we named it as ang app. Now we're going to create the controller, app dot, use the keyword controller, and within parentheses in double quotes give it the name of the controller, angctrl. Okay, and here now we create the function and we pass in the scope object as parameter. Here within this function I create a property named nt in the scope object. Okay, equal curly braces. I give the value as key value pair. It is first name colon, then single quotes give the name Thiruchitrampalam. Okay, comma, and then the last name colon, then single quotes give the name. Then what you do, create the d6. Okay, I just give I just create an array of objects, and the name of the array of object is d6. I give it as d6. Okay, and then I key in the colon, and then I use the bracket. Okay, here I'm gonna go within curly braces. I'm gonna give the key value pairs. So name key value is name, and for this value is uh, right, programmer. Okay, and I give code, and the code and one more and use the code and colon. I give PRG. Okay, and then a comma. I'm gonna create for 2 3, right? So again, the subsequent is senior programmer, and the code for this SR SPRG. All right, and then software engineer. I give it as SC. Okay, and then one more senior software engineer. I give it as SNE. Okay, that's it. So I have created the array of objects. Okay, so next what I'm gonna do, use the comma here. Okay, and then I just create a function named full name colon, use the keyword function. Here what you do, where student object, here what you do, where obj. Okay, and this obj equal, I'm gonna assign the scope property NT. Okay, that's it, and then I return NT dot last name plus NT dot first name. So here it shows few errors. You need to give comma here so that we can remove all the errors which is displayed on the website of the file. Alright, so now you can see you don't find any errors. Alright, so that's it, and we move on to the index.html file. Here we give the name of the title of the page, that is table. Alright, so Angular, I just give table. Or I give N.Thiruchitrampalam. Okay, that's it. Here I create the script element to link the include the Angularjs to this HTML file. I use a script element. Inside the script element, I use this attribute named src, and I'm going to assign the value angular.js. Right click on lib folder. Right click on open the lib folder, and you will find the angular.js file. Right click on it and click on copy qualified name and paste it here. And it's enough to have the path starts from lib /angular.js, and then we need to add the one more AngularJS file that we created named angdemo.js. So that should be given in the src attribute. So angdemo.js. okay, that's it. Now what I do in this, within the body I give div. Okay, here what I do, I make use of the ng directive, that is data-ng app directive. I make use of the data-ng app directive. Okay, to include the Angular app, that is Angular model that we have created. The name of the Angular model is ang app. You can see here model we created. The name of the model is ang app. So that we have assigned it to ng-app, data-ng-app, and then data-ng-controller. Here I give the name of the controller which we have created. Go to angdemo.js file, AngularJS file. You can see the controller, and name of the controller is angctr. Copy and give the assign it to the data-ng-controller attribute. Alright, so here within this, what I do, I create the table, and here I do I use the tr. Okay, here I'm gonna tr element. Within this tr element, use the td and give first name. Okay, and close the td. Again use the td element, and within this td we are going to make use of the input element just to get the value from the first name value from the end user. Type equal to text, text. Here we need to use the ng-model. Alright, just to have just to make use of the feature binding. Alright, so data binding. So ng-model equal within double quotes we need to give the variable which we have created. So go to the angdemo.js file. You can find the nt property within the nt property in the scope object. So it does have key value pairs. One is first name and the other one is last name. So we're going to use the first name. Okay, so nt dot first name. So nt dot first name. Okay, I just close this input element and then I close the td element. That's it. In the next line, I would like to get the value for the last name. So I just copy this and again I paste it and change the value. So tr, this is what we have copied and pasted. Here I change within the td. I give last name. Okay, and the input value in ng model I give here last name. That's it. So that you can see here, the nt is the last name, right? To get the last name. So now we have got the last name and we need to display it to the we need to display it on the view page. So how do you do? Use the tr element and within this td. Okay, and here what you do, use the curly braces and you call the function full name. This function, it will return the first name and last name. Okay, so how do you do? Give the full name. Okay, just copy and paste it here. Okay, in double quotes. That's it. So this will it will display the first name and last name, whatever the end user entered on the screen. All right, that's it. Now we need to list this DESIX array of object data, right? So for this we need to create one more tr element, one more row. So use the tr element and within this tr use the td element. Okay, and here in the td element you give the value designations. Okay, and create one more td element. In this td element we are going to create another table. So use the table element. Okay, and within this table you create t head. Okay, and here you give the, so we within this table we create the t head element, and then within this and t head element you give the name as name. Okay, and one more, create one more t head. You just copy and paste it and give the value as code. Okay, that's it. So here we give we create the tr element and use the td element. Okay. So the heading is name and code. So it should every row should have two values. So two columns, two values. So I create two td element. So I create two TD elements. So I've created two TD elements. Okay, and now you can see two TD elements within TR elements. So in this TR element, I need to give ng-repeat directive equal. I use the ng-repeat directive, and it is assigned with a value. So go to ang demo. Here you can find NT property in the scope object. Okay, it does have an array of objects. That array of objects is named as desix. Okay, uh, so I'm gonna access each and every name and code within this array of objects, right? So that the programmer and the PRG would be displayed on the web page, and then senior programmer and SPRG would be displayed. So in this way, it iterates throughout the array of objects, right? So how do I access this? So I need to use nt.desix, right, to access this. So I use des, okay, in nt is the property which resides in the scope object, and in turn there is an array of object named desix. So nt.desix. Okay, nt.desix. So here it's in capital, so I just copy instead nt.desix. Okay, now within the curly braces, within TD, give the curly braces, and in curly braces use the des. That is, we have created a variable name des. It represents each and every array object, right? So des dot, we are going to access this name, right? So name as well as code. So des, it represents the each object. So des dot name. Okay, and go here to the next TD element. Within this, create the curly braces, and give des, the object, each and every des represents the object dot code, 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 that is this code. Okay, that's it. Now that's it. Okay, here you can find some exclamation warning. See few exclamations. Here instead of it, I believe we can give th. I believe it works. Let me see. Here in the ng model, give the data hyphen. Okay, and in the repeat directive, repeat give data hyphen ng hyphen repeat. Okay, that's it. So let me that's it. Let me run this. All right, so we are gonna let me run this. Alt Shift X, and then press the key R, and then you need to give Alt N. Okay, and then select the application name ang table, and then click on finish. See, you can see we have got the output. Now you can see the name of the page is N.Thiruchitrampalam. It is because we have given the name of the page, we have given the text N.Thiruchitrampalam in the title element. We have given N.Thiruchitrampalam, right? That's the reason it's been displayed as the name of the page. And then you can see first name. This is because we have created a table, and within the trtd element we have given the text first name colon. And then you can see the input box, so which we have created the input text box using the input element, right? And here we have assigned the attribute ng model equal nt dot first name, right? So go here, whatever the text, whatever the value you give it in this text box, all right, as a value for the first name, that will get updated in this nt property first name key. It will be updated in this place, all right. So if I give any other value in the text box, first name text box, then it will get updated here. The ang demo.js file, it will get updated. Even if I do any changes here, then obviously it will get updated on the view page, all right. That is the browser, okay. So, and then here you can see the next last name that we have given another within the trtd element, last name colon, that's a label. And then you can see the last name text box, I have given n value. So here this text box is created using the input element, and here I have used ng model which holds the nt dot last name, right? That is this is the nt property, and last name is this, right? That is this, okay. So two-way binding happens here, right? So, and then whatever the value I get it from the end user, that's been displayed on the view page using the curly braces. Within the curly braces, I display it using the function named full name, okay. So all this stuff, it's been given within the trtd element, okay. So go to ang demo.js file, you can find the file name, you can find the function named full name, okay. This function, it returns the first name and last name of nt property, right? So once it's been displayed on the view page, I just print the label named designation, alright, using trtd element, okay. That is what you see it here in the designation. And then I create two headings, name and then code, using the th element, okay. When you give th, it will be the value would be represented as a heading, all right. It will be in bold letters, all right. And then what I do, I create one more row, and in this row I make use of the attribute ng-repeat, data-ng-repeat, which holds the value of the nt property array of objects. That is, nt property is this nt property in the scope object, and this nt property in turn contains array of objects named desigs, all right. So this array of objects, it has key value pairs. One is key, name, and code, all right. So I just use this nt property array of objects, that is nt.desigs. So this des, it represents each and every object in this array of object desigs, all right. So using that des dot name, I just call the name of des represents the object and name represents the key value, right? So it brings the So here des represents the object, and name, it represents the key value. All right, so key, and for this key, programmer, whatever the value for this key, that would be displayed on the view page. And again, to print the PRG on the view page, I make use of this des is the object, and dot code. I just key in the code, that is, which you can see. Go to the angdemo.js, you can see the code as a key, and for this the value is PRG. All right, so for each and every object, this code name and code key value would be printed on the view page. All right, so this ng-repeat data-ng-repeat, it iterates through the array of objects. All right, and we display the key value pairs, display the object key value pairs on the view page. All right, so that's it. So that you can see in the output, programmer PRG. Right, so senior programmer SPRG. So these values are, go to ANG demo, you can find programmer PRG, senior programmer, SPRG, and software engineer SC, and senior software engineer SNE. These are all the values. It's been printed on the view page. You can see programmer senior, and then senior programmer, and then SPRG, and software SC, okay, and then senior software, engineer SNE, right? So altogether in this session, we got to know how to make use of the tables in an AngularJS application. Here, just to iterate, we make use of the directive data-ng-repeat, okay, directive, that we make use of it, and then it's been assigned with the value property. It's been assigned with the value scope property array of object name, right? And then that we make use of the element like table, th, td, tr. All right, so those are all the stuff we have seen. Thanks for watching. That's for the session. Thanks for watching. Bye.